crochet cousins, thank you so much for joining me in this exclusive crochet tutorial. So for today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this basic bralette, mostly for beginners. I mostly use the shell stitch for the down detail, and I'll be giving you every little information needed to make this bralette. Every information, extra information will be in the description box for the other sizes. You're doing a size small for this particular tutorial, but you can check the description for the extra information. So for this tutorial, I'll be using some acrylic yarn I've had for some time. These acrylic yarn are very common here in my country, but you can use any type of acrylic yarn of your choice. You also need a pair of scissors, measuring tape to measure the vital areas, and most importantly, you need a 2.0 to 2.5 millimeter hook. I'm using in between 2.0 and 2.5. This is 2 and 1/4 mm, because this is lightweight and I prefer using it. Unless you are using a medium weight, you can go in for 3.0 to 4.0 for your design. So that is all the extra information you need for this tutorial. I also made a matching mesh cover up pants for this. I'm hoping to do an exclusive tutorial for you guys. I've been very busy because I've actually started work and I don't really get time, so just feel free to flow in with your requests, and please share this video, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out. So the very first process is to make a slip knot and make a chain as long enough to cover your nipple to underbust, and I'll be leaving an extra link in the description to help you if you are not familiar with it. So I'm going to make my chain of 24, and after making my chain of 24, I'm going to count to the 4th space from the hook and put a double crochet there. So I'm going to double crochet all the way down till I get to the end of the row. So you must have a total of 21 double crochets all across, because when you double crochet to the 4th space, the turning chain counts as a stitch. So you are now going to make several rows enough to cover your bust area. To begin the next row, we are going to make a chain of 3 and put a double crochet in the next stitch and a double crochet across till you get to the midpoint where there will be some changes. So make sure you put a double crochet and I'll meet you there. So we are gradually getting to the midpoint, and I've placed double crochet in every stitch. We are getting to the very middle, and these are the last but 2 stitches. I want to give you some clear demonstration. So this is the last but 1 stitch. Make sure you place your double crochet there on top, and then this is the very last stitch where you are going to normally place a double crochet on top, but this time you are going to go inside the space in between the last but 1 and the last stitch and place 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 extra double crochets in the same exact space, and this serves as the midpoint of the bralette. So now after you make this midpoint, you are going to turn and then work your stitches along this side by placing a double crochet in each space on top till you get to the end of the row. Make sure you do not place it in between, just make sure you place it on top to get to the end of the row. So getting to the end of the row, these are the last but 2 stitches. I'm giving you a demonstration. Some people make a mistake and place it in between instead of directly on top. So make sure all your stitches are on top, or else you are going to have this similar problems that most beginners do. So make sure you are targeting directly on top, not in between, and then place your double crochet swiftly till you get to the end of the row. Remember that the chain 3 also counts as a stitch, so you directly place your double crochet on top so that you have a straight edge for your bra cups. So apparently I made a total of 8 rows because I'm actually using a lightweight and it differs for a medium weight yarn. So this is actually a size small to medium, and I'm going to make my total of 8, and I'll meet you back. Make sure you do your repetition. When you get to the midpoint, make sure you put your total of 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets, and you repeat this till you are satisfied with your coverage. So just do this and I'll meet you when I'm done. So this is the end product of my bralette cuffs, and now it's time for me to start up with the design for the bralette. So I'm going to cut off my yarn because I ended here, and I'll just take my pair of scissors, cut off my yarn, and now work on the base parts. But first I'll be cleaning up the base to make sure that the bralettes are actually attached. So to do that, I'm going to make a slip knot and chain a total of 18. The chain determines the how much coverage you want for your back, because basically we will need some crisscross design for the back as of the bralette as well. So you don't need to chain too much in order for it to be too closed, unless you are fixing a zip. So after making my chain of 18, I'm going to single crochet along the edge of the very first bra cup, making sure that the excess yarn here is in place, so that I do place my single crochet along as the yarn weaves in. So this is to clean up the base of the bralette as well as make room for the main design. So I'm done with a single crochet along all the edges. I make sure I place 2 single crochet in each space, and after that I'm going to chain up a total of 5 and reattach to the next bra cup, and I'm going to do the same exact thing I did, just 2 single crochets in each space, and then chain a total of 18 just like here. So when I'm done with my single crochet and chain of 18, I'm going to chain up an additional one for the other side because it serves as a turning chain, and I'm going to place a single crochet all along the edges till I get to the end of the row. So I'll meet you at the end of the row as well. Also note that you are going to put a single crochet in between and also to the end. So I'm done with my single crochet rows. For the next row, which is the very first row, chain up 3 double crochet into the next stitch, chain up a total of 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. So after chaining up a total of 5, you skip the next 3 stitches and single crochet into the 4th. So that's what you are going to do basically. Just make your chain of 5, skip the next 3 stitches and single crochet into the 4th, and then do this repetitively till you get to the end of the row. So basically, getting to the end of the row, make sure you make your chain of 5 and then skip the next 3 spaces and double crochet this time into the 4th space. So no matter how you end, make sure you end with a total of 2 double crochets, because we have different sizes. We might have different ways of ending, and it's up for you to improvise. But if you get to end like how mine ends, then it's a plus for you. So after that, you chain up 3 and then double crochet into the next stitch. So just on top of the next double crochet, we are doing this because we want to maintain a straight edge. So after double crocheting into the next stitch, we are going to make a total of 4 chains and single crochet into the space for the next chain. So this time we are going to put a total of 8 double crochets. So move exactly into the next chain 5 and put a total of 8 double crochets in this same space, which is going to be a shell for this design. So that's how it works. After that, you move to the next space and put a single crochet, and then you have this first complete shell. So after that, you chain up a total of 4 single crochet into the next stitch, chain up a total of 4 again and single crochet into the following. So basically you are going to have 2 chains in between, 2 cluster of pods in between each shells, except for the beginning where you have only 1 pod. So this time you are going to move to the next space and put a total of 8 double crochets in the same exact space. So after that you move to the next space and single crochet, and you have your next shell done. So you are going to repeat this simultaneously. Make sure you chain up your 4, single crochet into the next space, chain up your 4 again, single crochet into the following, and then the next space is when you make your total of 8 double crochets in the same pod to create the shell design. So after you make your total of 8 double crochets, make sure you count it to be accurate, and you just single crochet into the following space to make the complete shell, and that's how the repetition is going to be all along to the end. So I'm done with my repetition so far. I have about 5 shells for the edges. It depends on your size, everyone's own differs. So I just completed this shell. After single crocheting in the next pod, chain 4, single crochet into the next, chain 4 again, and single crochet into, double crochet on top of the double crochet there, and then put your last double crochet there. As I told you, make sure you end with your total of 2. So next you chain up 3 to begin the next row, double crochet into the following, and then after that you put a single crochet into the next pod. So after that you make a total of 4 chains, single crochet into the next space, and then now you directly go on top of the very first double crochet for the shell, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So you are going to make a total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces only. So when you are done with your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, move directly into the next space with a single crochet. Now you are going to make a total of 4 chains and single crochet into the following chain. Now move to the next shell, the very first double crochet for the shell, and put a double crochet there, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Make sure you have a total of 8 on top of this shell separated by chain 1 spaces. So when you are done with your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, move directly into the next space, single crochet, chain 4, move directly into the following space, single crochet, and now move directly on top of the next and do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1. So that's how you're going to do that's the basic repetition for all the shells. And I'm at the end of the row. I made sure I did my 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces, single crochet, chain, and then end with my total of 2 double crochets. As I told you, no matter how you end, make sure you end with your total of 2 double crochets. For the next row, make sure you make your total of 3 chains before you begin, and then put a direct double crochet on top of the next double crochet. Now chain up a total of 4, and then skip the space after the double crochet just placed, and also the following space, and then single crochet into the next space. So chain up 4, skip the next space, single crochet into the following, chain up 4 once again, and then you are going to skip the next space once again and single crochet into the following. So you are supposed to have a total of 3 chain 4s on top of the shells, and that's the basic technique for this. Now directly put a single crochet in the next pod, chain up 4, and then place a single crochet on top inside the next pod. So that's how it works. So now just directly move to the very first chain 1 space with a single crochet, and then begin your chain of 4 skip the next piece, single crochet, chain up 4 once again, skip the next piece and single crochet into the following space, chain up 4 once again. This is going to be the last chain 4 for the pod on top of the shell, and then single crochet into the final space. Now move directly into the next pod, which was the chain 4 from the previous row, single crochet, chain 4, and then single crochet into the next. Now move to the very first space for the chain 8 double crochet separated by chain 1, single crochet, chain 4, and then skip the next space and put a single crochet into the following, chain 4, skip the next space, put a single crochet into the following, chain 4, skip the next space and put a single crochet into the following. I want to give you a short disclaimer that you must make sure that the chain 4s are always 3 on top of the shells, and that's the basic repetition all around. Just make sure that you single crochet in the next part, chain along, and that's how it basically works. So I'll meet you exactly at the end of the row and I'll show you how the ending is supposed to be. So guys, this is the outcome of the project getting to the end. So I'm going to just turn over and continue by chaining up 3, putting a double crochet into the next stitch, and after that I will swiftly move to the next stitch, single crochet, chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next space, chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next space. And now this is the point where we are going to put a total of 8 double crochets. So make sure you open up that space wide and put your total of 8 double crochets. After you're done with your total of 8 double crochets, make sure you count it and just swiftly move to the next space and single crochet. So this is how it's going to look so far. So actually you are making the shells in between the designs that had chains. So next you are going to chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next pod, chain up 4 again, single crochet into the next pod. Now this is the point where you put your total of 8 double crochets. So swiftly put your total of 8 double crochets, and I hope you are getting this clearly because you are separating these shells by chain spaces, as in 2 chains apart, and you are creating a new shell in between the designs. So after that you move swiftly into the next space, single crochet, chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next space, chain up 4 once again, single crochet into the following space, and this is the point where you are going to put your swiftly just move into the next space and put your total of 8 double crochets. So after you make your total of 8 and single crochet into the space, you are going to chain 4, single crochet into the next space, chain 4, single crochet into the following, and then this is where you put your total of 8, and then you are going to repeat this all the way to the end of the row. So I'll meet you when I'm done. Finally at the end, this was my last shell, and then I'm just going to make a chain of 4, single crochet into the last pod, and then swiftly move directly on top of the next double crochet and place my double crochet there, and then finally I place my double crochet in the very last stitch. So to begin the next row, you chain up a total of 3, turn over your work, and then put a double crochet into the next stitch. So after you do this, you are directly going to single crochet into the next space, chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the following space, and then this is when you move directly on top of the first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So you are going to make a total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces, as I taught to you from the beginning of the shell. So make sure it's a total of 8 just separated by chain 1 spaces. So after doing this, swiftly go inside the next space and single crochet, and this is how your project is supposed to look. Isn't it beautiful? So next we are going to make up a chain of 4, single crochet into the next space, and now swiftly move directly on top of the very first double crochet, do a total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 swiftly on the shell, just like how I taught you. Directly move to the next double chain and make a single crochet. Go ahead, chain 4, single crochet into the next space and do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1. So this is how the basic pattern is going to be, repetition all over. When you get to where the shell is, you do your 8 double crochets separated by chain 1. And I don't like to make this video extremely long, so I'll leave you to figure out the rest, or you can replay to get the perfect detail. Getting to the end of the row, you are swiftly going to create your chain. So just after you single crochet into the last pod, last but one pod, you just chain a total of 4 and single crochet into the next space, and then you swiftly move to the final 2 double crochets and place a double crochet on each. So 2 double crochets. As I told you, always end with your 2 double crochets. So you are going to do this repetitively, and it's very easy. All you have to do is to make sure that you chain up a total of 4 to begin the next row and double crochet into the next stitch. This time you are going to create a new shell in the very first chain 4. So you just make sure you put a total of 8 double crochets in that chain 4 space. So after that, you single crochet in the very first chain 1 for the 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, chain up 4, skip the next space, single crochet into the following, chain up 4 again, skip the next space, single crochet into the following. Note that you are single crocheting into the space, the chain 1 spaces. So this is the very last chain 4, and I just single crocheted and move swiftly with your total of 8 double crochets in the next chain 4 from the previous row. So just single crochet into the very first chain 1 space for the total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, and that's how the basic repetition is going to be. Just make sure you have 3 chains on top of each shell, and then you create a new shell in between, as you can see, and that's the basic repetition all till the end of the row. So I'm going to leave you to figure this out. Just make sure you have your 3 chains on top of the shell, and I'll meet you. So this is how the ending is going to be like. I made sure I did my repetition all over, creating shells in between, and then making sure I have a total of 3, and I always end with my total of 2 double crochets as I taught you. So the next row is going to be simple. This pattern is basically repetition. After you make your chain of 3, double crochet into the next stitch, and then do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces. So after you do this repetition, you move swiftly to the next space, single crochet, chain up 4, single crochet into the next space, chain up 4, single crochet until you meet your shell, where you are going to do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1. So just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, make sure it's a total of 8. So after this repetition, you swiftly move to the next space, single crochet, chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next space, chain up 4, again single crochet into the following space, and then do your repetition of your what's the name, do your repetition of your 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, and I'll meet you at the end. This is basically repetition, and you should figure out this pattern because it's actually repetition of shells in between. And yeah, so I'm done with my repetition all the way down, and I'm going to begin the next row with you. Make sure you chain up 3 and then put a double crochet into the next stitch, and after that you are going to swiftly move to the next space, the very first chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 4, skip the next space, single crochet, chain 4, skip the next space, single crochet, and then do your last chain 4 for the shell. So chain up 4 again, single crochet into, skip the next space, and single crochet into the following. So you, as I told you, must have a total of 3 shells, 3 chains on top of the shell. So after that, you swiftly move to the next space, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet into the next space, single crochet into the following space, chain up 4, skip the next space, single crochet into the following, chain up 4, skip the next space, single crochet into the following, chain up 4 again, skip the next space, single crochet into the following. You must have a total of 4 as usual. So this is the basic repetition, and I would leave you here to figure it out. This is basically repetition all the way down, just chaining and making sure that you have a total of 3 chains or on top of the shell, each shell. So you must have a total of 3 chain 4s on top of the shells, and then you just swiftly repeat this pattern. So I'll meet you at the end of the row, and then I'll show you what to do next. So this is how the pattern is looking so far. You can leave it like this, or you can still continue with me to add a few more rows, but it's basically repetition, and you should figure out your way. So after chaining up a total of 3, you are going to swiftly put a double crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the very first chain 4 for the row. After that, you chain up a total of 4, single crochet into the next chain 4, chain up 4 again, and single crochet into the next. So this is when you put your total of 8 double crochets. So swiftly put your total of 8 double crochets in that same exact space. After that, you single crochet into the next space, and you have your shell in between. So this is going to be repetition all around. You just chain, and then you create shell in between when you are supposed to. So I'll meet you. You are going to create a shell over, and just make sure you chain and create your shell. This is basically repetition, and I'm just loving the outcome. So I ended my row swiftly, and I've already chained 3 to begin the next row. So after chaining 3 and double crocheting as usual into the next space, single crochet into the following space, and then chain up 4, single crochet into the next. This is when you do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces. So yes, this is basically repetition all over. Make sure you do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1, as you can swiftly see, and then you swiftly place a single crochet directly into the next chain 4. So I'm counting it to make sure I'm accurate, and then swiftly place your single crochet. So this row is going to be basic chaining 4, and then when you get to where the shell is, you just do your total of 8 double crochets separated by chain 1. So I'll meet you at the end of the row, and then we continue from there. So this is the end of the row, and I just love it. You can continue by extending and making another shell in the next row by creating shells in between, and then making sure you have chain 3s on top of the shell as I taught you. And yeah, I just love the length of mine, so I'll just add some edging on the bra cups and also the down detail. I've already added the edging, and that's the same picot edging I'm going to add for my bra cups. So there was no need for me to repeat 2 things, because the same type of edging I use for the down detail is what I'm going to teach you right now on the bra cap. So I'm now going to reattach my yarn to the bra cap area, work the straps and work the edges for the bra cap. So now I'm going to just reattach my yarn by making a slip knot and reattaching to the side of the bra cap. I want to give you a little detailed information that if you want to get the best edging, you turn your work upside down, so such that you work your edging at the wrong side. So when you turn it to the right side, the edging is rather on the wrong side, so you get this appealing nature. The edges become very sharp, so it becomes more I don't know, it gives you more extra detail. People get to see the edging and it becomes more attractive. This is a little tip for you guys, especially if you have watched this aspect. So after reattaching, chain up a total of 4, slip stitch into that first space for the chain 4, and then basically slip stitch into the space where you reattach the yarn. So after that, we are going to make a total of 4 slip stitch, separating the picot edging, and then you chain up a total of 4 slip stitch into the very first chain you made, and then you slip stitch again into that same space, and then we are going to do this repetitively. Everyone's picot edging depends on how he or she wants it separated from each other, and he or she how exactly he or she wants it pointed. It depends on your preference, so you can either make a chain of 5, 7, 4, depending on how big you want your picot edging or how detailed you want your picot edging. As I give you the tip too, it helps to give you a detailed picot edging. So I'm going to do this picot edgings all along the bra cup, and I'll just stop by to show you how I made my straps. So regarding the straps, I made it long enough. When I got to the middle, I just chained long enough. It's because I'm going to do a crisscross design at my back. I'll be inserting a picture right here on your screen to show you exactly what I mean. So after I chain, I can't leave this strap so thin, so I went back with a single crochet. You can either go back the straps with a slip stitch or a single crochet. It depends on how your yarn is, and because mine is of a lightweight, I prefer using single crochets, well, because it's actually light and you don't get the chunky effect. So I prefer single crochets, but if it's worsted weight or medium, you can just do a basic slip stitch. So this is how your project should be looking like after you repeat the picot edging all along the bra cups. And I just love this look. As I told you, after doing the picot edging, you show the right side instead, because the picot edging will have its wrong side facing it, and that is the beauty of the picot edging showing out in your project. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Please subscribe if you love my content and share to others, and I would love to see your finished projects as well. So don't forget to tag me in your post on Instagram or any other social media handle. I have all the extra information that you need in the description. So let's stay connected. Bye.